How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Sanity here. And well, I mean, as of recording this, the Game Awards have pretty much already come and gone, and I didn't bother to watch it either because I just don't really care all that much. Although I probably should have, because I don't know, maybe I missed some funny shit that went down. But overall, I at least have some baseline information as to what happened. Apparently, Baldur's Gate 3 ended up winning Game of the Year. Maybe I genuinely have no idea. I'll have to double check that. But hey, you know, if that is the case, then that's pretty cool, because all that'll mean is that there's going to be more content for me to dig into from a bunch of salty fan that apparently just let that game live rent-free in their head. And while yes, I could talk about some of the other things, like for example Wendigoon getting cancelled just because he like briefly mentioned for like 5 seconds in one of his most recent videos that he was religious, and people blew that out of proportion to label him as one of the insane ones for whatever reason. Listen, there you go, there's my opinion on it. People are just really stupid. Wendigoon is, as far as I'm aware of, Wendigoon isn't one of the crazy ones, okay? He's just a religious person, and that's literally it. But aside from that, we have a couple videos from Harman Smith here. No, surprisingly enough, it's nothing about the Game Awards, although I can't wait to see if he actually does make a copium-fueled video about Baldur's Gate 3 winning Game of the Year, and probably just claiming that the Game Awards are rigged. And apparently he's made a couple videos about Grand Theft Auto 6's announcement trailer, and one of his first videos about it is titled Grand Theft Auto 6 is bigger than the AstroTurfed Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, and Cyberpunk 2077. Jesus fucking Christ, this man is not beating the allegations of letting those games live rent-free in his head just because they are good but not available to him. Like, holy shit, dude. So, without further ado and without further delay, let us see him try and compare apples to fucking oranges in this case. So, yeah, let's just get started here. Let's stop wasting time.
Wow, this is actually a breath of fresh air. Instead of a game that's being chilled and promoted and isn't actually as popular as people say it is, Grand Theft Auto 6, or Grand Theft Auto as a brand, actually is genuinely popular.
Well, actually, the other games, at least the ones I have listed within the title of your video, they actually are popular. They're pretty much just as popular as, well, you would think that they would be. Baldur's Gate 3 is still being talked about, and probably is still going to continue to be talked about now that it's won Game of the Year. Elden Ring is still being talked about, even to this fucking day. I mean, hell, there's literally one fucking brave soldier that I keep seeing in my goddamn recommended, where he's still, like, ranking, like, various things within the fucking game. His most recent one is the fucking Spirit Ashes, which, my god, man, this man is just delving real deep into the fucking game to really get all those numbers, but hey, you know, props to him. And Cyberpunk 2077, again, yes, it's extremely popular, mainly because it's kind of going through, like, a No Man's Sky-esque redemption arc, which is pretty cool. Also, speaking of No Man's Sky, apparently Hello Games has been working on another game in the background for like the past 5 fucking years, which, okay, Jesus fucking Christ, the level of motivation over at HG is absolutely fucking insane, but that's besides the point. He's already starting off strong by just making shit up at this point, which I guess is just par for the course when it comes to a Harman Smith video at this fucking point.
So in a lot of ways, this is an actual viable competitor to Nintendo. Now, I'm not saying the games are good.
I'm sorry. First of all, I find it funny that apparently he thinks that Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar are viable competitors to Nintendo, when, mind you, none of the other fucking developers of the games that are within the title of this video were actively trying to compete with Nintendo. They were just creating a game and putting it out there because it was finished and it was a good enough product, and, well, lo and behold, those games ended up being pretty good, aside from Cyberpunk 2077 on launch. But I mean, like, how in the fuck is, like GTA going to be a competitor to Nintendo? Like, how would that even fucking happen? Like,
they're like better than what Nintendo puts out, but there's no real denying that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be highly successful, highly lucrative, and going to be played and enjoyed by a lot of people. Right? This is a completely different animal than the whole Baldur's Gate 3 or Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring, like, you know.
Well, I mean, you are correct on that one. It is a completely different animal, because it's a completely different fucking setting and genre in comparison to all of those other games.
Heavily AstroTurf products that can't really compete with the average Nintendo products, right?
Yeah, probably because they're not trying to compete with Nintendo products. And also because they aren't trying to be like Nintendo products. Are you actually just this fucking dense?
On record several times saying that GTA is one of like the central pillars of non-Nintendo gaming. Like people are always asking what these casual gamers are playing on PlayStation and Xbox. You know what they are playing. Considering all these sales for software are down and nobody's really talking about or playing anything that comes out.
You know, I think I could probably answer the question of, what are casual gamers, playing on, like, whatever console that they decide to play on. Here's your answer. They're likely playing whatever they find interest in. Much like myself.
Like, they're playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, even after a solid decade, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still very, very popular. And a big part of that is because there's nothing else for these people to play, but...
I mean, you're probably right on that one, at least partially, but I can probably guarantee you that the other reason why GTA is still as popular as it is probably because of the massive, like, online scene that it has. Like, there are fucking booming servers that exist when it comes to the GTA series, and that's probably another thing that's keeping it alive.
Grand Theft Auto is kind of a cultural phenomenon and a very appealing product for a lot of people. Now,
you know what's funny? He's saying this about, Grand Theft Auto, but apparently he doesn't lend the same hand to games such as, well, once again, Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, and Cyberpunk 2077. Again, those games are pretty decent staples within, the communities that, hold them close to heart. Especially, fucking Elden Ring, at least, in my personal opinion, considering the fact that the Souls series is pretty well known across the gaming community at this point, to where there's, like, an entire fucking genre of games that exist now because of it called Souls-likes. Like, Elden Ring is also a pretty decent cultural phenomenon. Hell, I can probably even say to an extent Baldur's Gate 3 is a pretty decently large cultural phenomenon in terms of how it functions. Like, all these games are pretty fucking impactful within the, specific spheres that they're popular in. Just because you don't like them and you don't have fucking access to them on your favorite little piece of plastic does not completely negate their popularity.
I would argue that it's for shallow hedonistic reasons, but at the end of the day, Grand Theft Auto is going to do very well. So as a result of that, how exactly is this product going to affect Nintendo?
Oh my fucking god, Harman Smith. I'm sorry, I just have to point this out, dude, but please, for the love of fuck, turn your goddamn autofocus off on your goddamn camera, because it's just causing everything to suddenly, like, pulse in and out as if it's a fucking rave for some goddamn reason. Like, Mutahar has, like, almost a similar fucking issue to where, like, his camera lens will just randomly unfocus whenever he, like, moves one pixel to the left. Like, it's the same thing when it comes to you, Harman, okay? And it's something that I'm still trying to figure out with my fucking camera in order to get that shit to turn off, but hey, at least I'm willing to fucking figure it out. Meanwhile, you probably see that as an insult.
I think for the next 2 to 4 years, right, as we wait for this thing to come out, we're going to see a lot of people try and weaponize this game against Nintendo. This is going to be the reason not to own a Nintendo Switch.
Or it probably won't be, and you're just acting like a paranoid fucking loser.
This is going to be the game that everyone obsesses over, everyone says is like the best ever, that everyone says is better than like everything else that's coming out, that this is going to be like the big thing. Like, I think it's already safe to say that it's going to win Game of the Year just because it's Grand Theft Auto. Like, the actual quality doesn't matter, right? Like, it's going to win. It's going to win all these awards. It's going to sell like 50 million units its first year. It's going to be huge.
At this point, I genuinely can't even tell if he's like, all for GTA 6 or if he just fucking hates it. I don't know. Are you a fan or not? Like, you're giving off extremely mixed signals to the point where the airplane is just doing fucking loop-de-loops in the fucking background wondering what it is that you want it to do.
But that doesn't mean the game is going to be good, right? And that's kind of what I want to emphasize going into this, is that the game is overhyped. The game is going to disappoint. Like, these games have been getting steadily worse since, like, San Andreas. Like, how many people do you see acknowledge that Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5 were major steps down after San Andreas? How many people have you seen acknowledge how ridiculous it is that we've had to wait over 10 years to get a trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6?
Well, I mean, for the former, I haven't seen that many people say that whatsoever. And in terms of the latter, well, it's mainly people who are just kind of, like, doing a meme of, like, GTA 6 coming out at some point in the near future trademark and, like, just playing into the meme. Like, they probably just didn't really give too much of a fuck. But I'm really wondering, considering just how much you're now just talking down GTA 6 and saying how bad it's actually going to be and how it's actually just going to be a fucking downgrade, how is this going to tie into the title of your video of these games, of GTA 6 apparently being bigger and better than, you know, Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, and Cyberpunk 2077. How are you going to make this make sense?
How many people have you seen acknowledging like how broken the online for Grand Theft Auto 5 was at launch and how much of a money sink it is now? Like, how many people have you seen acknowledge the very real problems with Grand Theft Auto? Basically no one, because everyone just consumes the game, you know, just consumes this goy slop.
I'm sorry, what in the 4chan? Oh my fucking god, this fucking 4chan brained garbage right here. Like, again, it's very rich for someone like Harman Smith to go around and say, oh, people are just gonna enjoy GTA 6 and talk about how good all the GTA games are and just consume product. Meanwhile, he is quite literally the epitome of consume product. Like, my brother in Christ, you jack Nintendo off so much, I'm surprised you aren't just holding a disembodied dick in your hand 24/7.
It's the big thing for certain demographics, you know, for melanated man children. Like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna cut it off right there. No, we're not moving on any further from there. I feel like I don't have to explain any more as to just how yikes that fucking statement was. We're just gonna end it off right here. What did we learn today, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we've learned that apparently even when Harman Smith is talking up a massive game, he's still going to tear it down just because it's not going to be released for Nintendo products. But hey, anyways guys, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, that's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, and go ahead and join the Discord server down below if you genuinely feel like it. Anyways guys, this has been Sanity, and have yourselves a nice day.